Hey there, y'all. How's it going? Welcome to your quadruplicity reading for Scorpio season. So, as I've said, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different for Scorpio season. So, there's going to be double the amount of zodiac readings, okay? And because of what Scorpio season tends to mean for me, this is usually when I start my own personal shadow work. Okay, so just this a little tip, just so you can get the most out of the readings for this next 30-day period, and of course, whenever you choose to do your shadow work, okay, you can always refer to this and do something similar. All right, so like I said, double the amount of zodiac readings, with one being your run of the mill, as I usually do with the Lenormand and the Kipper and tarot to further clarify towards the end of the reading. That's your quote unquote normal zodiac reading, okay? But then I'm gonna also do a shadow reading for, or a shadow scope, if you will, a reading for each zodiac sign as well. So the best way to get the most out of these readings is to not only watch the regular reading. So let me give you an example. So say you're looking at your sun sign specifically, or your first house, okay, for these particular readings. My suggestion is that you want to look at the sign that is opposite of that for you. So I'm just going to use myself as an example because that's easier. So typically, when this season starts, I begin to watch a lot of Libra readings, and I also watch a lot of Scorpio readings. Here's why. I am an Aries Taurus cusp, and when I look at the zodiac wheel, opposite of Aries and Taurus is Libra and Scorpio. So when I'm looking at the shadow aspects of personality and whatever it is I'm trying to work on within my sun sign or first house, because it is in my first house, the house of self, that's where I look. So, you know, for example, if your sun sign is in Capricorn, my suggestion would be to look at the shadow sign for Cancer. Now, these will actually be released on the same day to make it a little easier for you. So that is my suggestion to get the most out of these readings. Now, of course, you can watch for any placement in your chart. I don't specify that it's only sun, moon, or rising, because how I feel is we've all got a little bit of each of the zodiac energies in our chart. And sometimes looking at our sun sign is not going to necessarily tell us about what's going on in our work house or our love house or our family house, so on and so forth. I hope you guys get what I'm saying. So, that's my suggestion. And the entire point of this is because with shadow season, it's all about healing this aspect of duality consciousness and to bring us into unity consciousness so that we can all elevate. That's the entire point of why I am on YouTube. It's the entire point of why I started this channel and why I do what I do. Shadow work is very dear to my heart. It's probably one of the most important aspects of spiritual growth and elevation that one can go through if you choose to. Okay, so with that, I'm gonna go ahead and not ramble anymore and call that here, and let's move on to your quadruplicity reading. What's up there, Misfits? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Of course, welcome back if you've been hanging out with me for a while. So one thing I neglected to mention in that little intro is that some of you actually might have no idea what I'm even talking about. I'm so sorry about that. So what I'm actually going to do is I will leave a little bit of information down in the description box about where you can pull your own chart so you can figure out what's opposite of what and what houses. And I'll actually leave the links to a couple of YouTubers that I really like that are astrologers that can help you explain each of those aspects and houses and such, and personalities and themes of either the houses or the signs and so on and so forth. Okay, so make sure you check the description box for that info. Okay, So, this reading is for mutable signs. So if you're a mutable sign, you are Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces. Now, like I said, you can be looking at any house or sign within your chart. It is not restricted to sun, moon, and rising for my readings. I don't do that because that's not even how I view videos when I view them. For wherever you're looking for in those placements in your chart, this reading could resonate for you, okay? So, as I'm shuffling here to get your cards out, have a little patience with me because I am looking for the tipping point, so I'm pulling out 7 total cards. I will be using the John Holland Psychic Tarot as your primary deck for this particular Scorpio season. And let's see here. So, fine print. I'm an adult. I do use adult language. So if that's something you're not comfortable with, this is probably a good time to exit stage left. Now, I do watch it because I want my readings to be inclusive. But again, I'm an adult. Okay. So there's that. Now, as far as pronouns go with what you resonate as. This is an inclusive channel, okay? And of course, oh, nice to start off. I like it. I like it. Last but not least, of course, if you are looking for a personal reading, you can head over to my website, which should be at the bottom of your screen, and poke around there, see if there's anything you're interested in, okay? All right, so we just got to get a couple more out, and then we can get this party started. All right, a couple more. And one more. Perfect. Alrighty. Let's get some things moved around here. Ooh, okay. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. So I always have incense going, when I am doing these readings, and this particular incense just went out on its own, and I haven't had that happen before. So I'm going to light another one before I get started, because that's kind of an important part of the process for me. So thank you for your patience. All right, so now that I got that taken care of, so it definitely looks like as if y'all are manifesting something during Scorpio season specifically. It actually might have to do with love and relationships. I got a lot of air energy here, so this might especially resonate with Geminis and Virgos. So let me show you the cards, and then we'll dig in, okay? So we've got Awareness as your first card kicking us off, which is the Magician in traditional tarot. And then we've got Temptation, which is the Devil in traditional tarot. Rest and Rejuvenate, which is the Four of Swords. And of course your tipping point here being Triumphant Success, which is the Ace of Swords. Okay, I'm already starting to see where all this air energy is coming from. All right, and then we have Conflict and Defeat, which is the Five of Swords. Trapped in Fear, which is the Eight of Swords. And then to bookend your reading, we have Memories of Love, which is the Six of Cups. All right, so your theme for Scorpio season mutable signs is healing. All right, lots of blue. Lots and lots of blue. So we are definitely dealing with some throat chakra action for y'all for this this particular season, okay? So again, like I was saying, I feel like you guys are trying to manifest something, but it's like you're stuck in this place of feeling like that you're not necessarily so it's twofold. It's like you want to make sure that what you're manifesting is not from a place of toxicity. Okay, I feel like ultimately what this has to do is with reconciling something with your past. Like there's something that needs to be said, there's someone that you need to speak to, something you need to speak about. I mean, there's a crap ton of air energy in this reading. For some of you, the manifestation that you've been working on, or that you will be working on during Scorpio season, is eliminating toxicity, okay? Taking a break from that toxicity. You're looking to be successful at that toxicity. So for some of you, it could just be how you speak to others, okay? The things that you vocalize or choose not to vocalize. Now, in doing a small inventory here of your synchronistic numbers, we have 6 and then we have 1. So 6s and 1s might be especially prominent for you in Scorpio season. So if you're seeing a lot of those numbers, definitely pay attention to what's going on with it around you at that time, and definitely pay attention to your thoughts. And I say that again because there's so much air energy in this reading, so there might be some clues in how you're thinking, and the universe is trying to direct you in a certain way. So it's really important for you to pay attention to your thoughts. Okay. Now I do feel like if you come forth and do speak your truth and do speak from your heart here with the memories of love, 6 of Cups, that you will be successful. Okay. There will be healing that is able to have blah, 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 blah. Mercury retrograde. There's healing that will be able to take process or be processed. That is not coming out right, but I think you know what I'm saying. Healing will be able to take place. Goodness gracious. If you do speak your truth. Now, the hindrance I feel like that you're running into with this is because you're kind of stuck in your head about what to say. You're feeling trapped to some degree because there might have been things that were said or were not said that are making you feel defeated, like you can't. But I'm just not seeing that here. What I am seeing is that if you take that time to reflect here, take a pause before stepping forward here with this 4 of Swords, that when you do speak, if you speak from the heart, speaking your truth, that you will be successful. Okay, so let's go ahead and dig into your clarifiers. Yeah, the Magician is no joke. You know, it's working within the things that you're good at and your limitations to overcome whatever this devil energy is. Okay, the devil tends to mean toxicity for me, but in this instance, because of what I'm seeing and the fact that the memories of love is also here with the healing card, to some degree it could represent passion. You know, perhaps you haven't spoken your passion. Or even for some of you, you're still trying to identify exactly what your passion is. And of course, the suggestion, like I said, is to take some time to reflect before moving forward. And that's going to help you a lot. Okay? So let's get your clarifiers out. I don't know if y'all saw that, but it decided to jump. Yeah, okay, so landing on your Magician card is a card that I view as meditation. This is someone who, oh my gosh, can you see that? It's a card of meditation and taking a step back to go within before moving forward. I feel like that's really important for mutable signs for Scorpio season, okay? Because it does seem like there is some duality that you need to bring into balance, okay? That's very prominent in this card, this particular card, which is one of the many cards within this deck that symbolizes duality here with the white and the black. You're trying to find the balance of that, the gray, okay? So for some of you, it could actually be physical healing, because I do see the caduceus here, or caduceus, potato, okay? But that's the snake wrapped around the staff, okay? Yeah, and this is symbolizing heart healing on top of that. So, you know, as much as your throat chakra is going to be at play in Scorpio season, I'm feeling like the healing that needs to take place has to do with your heart. Okay? And yeah, that's backed up here by this green dragon landing on rest and rejuvenation. So, with the memories of love, and of course, being that, you know, we're in Mercury retrograde for a little bit longer, at least up until November 3rd. Excuse me, confirmation. This might have to do with a past person, okay? And needing to reconcile something with that past person so that you can move forward. But again, and I know I've said this a couple times already and it sounds repetitive, but that's because it's being impressed to like kind of drill this into you that you need to take a step back and reflect before you move forward, okay? Mutable signs. All right. Yeah. Yeah, so some of you I feel like, oh, very interesting. Some of you are actually feeling a little at war with your emotions. You know, and this is definitely tying into that duality energy that I'm picking up here for you with the Devil card and the black and white rainbow angel, as I'm calling it, which actually is the Six of Swords. So yeah, that's backing up that you're moving away from this toxic energy. Okay. But with this emotions card here, you know, it's using the toxicity, the shadow aspects that you, or even ego aspects that you've been using as your operas mundi, if you will, to step into light, if you will. Okay, this is very much, again, duality is what I'm picking up. Shadow versus light, shadow versus light, shadow versus light. And I feel like you've been in the toxicity of ego drives that you finally have come to recognize, I would say. And for some of you, you've already been going within. I feel like you've been kind of in that energy, I would say probably about 4 months. You've taken the time to go within and have recognized that these are the drives that have been running you versus being led by your higher consciousness or your light, okay, your light being. All right, so there is a little bit of a war with your emotions when it comes to speaking them. Some of you just have a hard time speaking on how you feel, but in order to heal yourself and heal whatever situation this is, and I feel like it's with a past person, in order for you to do that, you're gonna have to speak up. You're gonna have to speak on your emotions, as uncomfortable as that can be, okay? You know, and I feel like, yeah, you've been feeling very tethered by your emotions. Yeah, just feeling tied up, feeling, you know, almost as if you're drowning in your own emotions, and that's been causing conflict within you, you know, making you feel defeated, keeping you in your head, trapped in fear. Okay? So the most interesting and I would say poignant card that has come out here is perception. And the fact that that's landing on the Eight of Swords, it tells me that what you're trapped in your head about, for starters, may not actually be as bad as you think it is. Okay? Sometimes when it comes to our thought processes, you know, those things that kind of push us to act, or even those things that we feel are very negative or very very bad or very toxic. Sometimes that's just a matter of perception. So for some of you, it could be a matter of you speaking your piece about something and people telling you that it's toxic, but you, or even you feeling like it's toxic to speak on those things that you're passionate about, that matter to you. But it may not be that you're speaking on it. It could just be how you're relaying the information, like the delivery, if that makes sense. Okay. So yeah, perception is a big thing here, you know. I feel like with this memories of love card, and especially with this ox, you know, and this is a double-edged sword even in its own, because the ox, and I know that y'all can't really see this, I'm trying, okay, but with this ox here, he's chained. He's chained, okay? The key is around his neck. He can unlock himself at any time, okay? But it's like some of you are perhaps, you've allowed yourself to be almost trapped in an instance by some type of memory of a past person. And again, that might come down to perception, like how you're viewing let's just go for love, because that's kind of an easy analogy, if you will. So, you know, there might have been someone that you felt very deeply for, that you were in love with, and for whatever reason, some type of toxicity might have ended that partnership. And it's like you haven't really been able to come to the conclusion that it was toxicity that ended this partnership and not something else. And because your perception has been skewed, oh, this person loved me, they treated me well. But once you took the time to take a step back and go within and really like listen to your intuition and do that healing work, you may have realized that your perception was completely skewed in how you viewed this person, that they were not, you know, healthy for you, that it was not a healthy relationship, that they did not mean you well, that maybe even for some of you that partnership was abusive. But a lot of that had to do with the perception and you being trapped in a certain perception of viewing this person with roses, when you really needed to be viewing it with a very discerning eye. You know, it's almost like for Scorpio season, some of you are being forced to take off the rose-colored glasses about something. And again, I'm feeling a lot more like this is a person. I don't necessarily know that this is romantic in nature. I do feel like it's someone from the past, which that's what we can kind of expect with the retrogrades that are running right now, okay? You know, someone or a partnership that you viewed as very bountiful and very positive, and upon further reflection and review, you're realizing this was actually really toxic and it didn't serve, you know, my higher growth, if you will. And part of that recognition is being able to actually to voice that, to speak that in order to heal yourself, okay? And that's extremely important to do, you know, to do that type of deep internal review. You know, it's always good to question our perceptions, because that's how we grow, that's how we elevate, that's how we change and become the highest versions of ourselves. That's always the goal, right? So let's go ahead and look at your message, and you got 2 of them, just like the fixed signs did. So your cards are stop and take in the view. It says take stock of the treasures that you've earned. Okay, and then your second card is how much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So yeah, that's what this is encouraging you to do, is to take stock of what has happened and look at where you are now and look at how much healing you've already done. You know, sometimes we can have so many things happen to us that appear very negative, and we don't necessarily recognize that it's happening because it's actually serving our highest growth. It's actually serving us to learn a lesson. Like, you know, I can speak from personal experience on this. Saturn has been a freaking taskmaster for me for the last like 3 years, and it's like, okay, I understand that this is all in the effort of higher growth, but holy fuck, does it have to be so painful? You know what I mean? And sometimes it does, because when we don't get the lesson the first time, Saturn kind of tends to double down, you know, and not necessarily saying Saturn is ruling your year, but I do feel like there's something about your perceptions that you've had to heal, that you've had to take stock in and realize that, you know what, I'm not thinking about this in the highest vibration about what happened. I'm thinking of this as, ooh, candle's going crazy. I'm not thinking about this in a form of, you know, how does this teach me to be the best version of myself? How does this elevate me? Versus thinking about it, oh, this just really sucks and everything sucks and, you know, nothing good ever happens. I always get screwed over. Your perception and how you talk to yourself matters. That matters in your healing. You know, it also makes a big difference in how long it takes to heal, getting out of that negative self-talk pattern. You know, being able to widen your lens and see, hey, yeah, it really sucked that this happened, but you know what? It's a part of a bigger plan to help me grow. Okay? So your lesson, I love it. Your lesson for Scorpio season is humor. Okay? It says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And that just, it backs up what I'm saying. It's the perception and how you view things that have happened in the past. For some of you, it's the perception of how you're viewing a specific person. Okay? How you speak, you know, things that you speak on, the delivery of how you're speaking to others, the delivery on how you speak to yourself, makes a huge difference, okay? But there is healing in order for you during the Scorpio season, mutable signs, and that is amazing. And you will notice doing that work again, taking a step back before you step forward, that alone is going to widen the scope of your view, okay? And you're going to notice that is going to allow you to change the perception of how you're thinking about things, and you're going to see that many more things that are quote unquote good are going to begin to come to you. And really what it is that because your perception has changed or will change in doing this work, that how you view the new blessings, if you will, from the universe that come to you, you're going to be able to view those in a much higher vibration. Okay, so with that, we're going to go ahead and call it here so I don't trip over my words anymore. Bleh. So with that, remember your pieces, your power, mutable signs, and I'll see you next time, okay? Bye.